What's up guys, this is Dark Magician here and welcome to another KOF video. Okay, so after the big Ash draw, the developers decided to give us the Karate Bros on the first month of the year. Okay, now we still don't know how the draw will be. Like, are we gonna get both the bros in the same chest, or is Rio gonna be in a recharge event or a spend diamond event? You know, we still have no idea about it, so better wait to see until then. Now meanwhile, today's video will be about the Karate Bros, or known as Robert and Rio. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about both of them in the same video because they synergize so well. Okay, you know, they are independent, they work together. Okay, so starting with Robert. Robert is an API 14 DPS. Okay, his stats, as you can see, he has a good crit rate and a very high crit power rate. Other stats are normal. Now, his feature is the strongest tiger because he's a tiger soul and he does a lot of damage. Okay, moving to his fate. So first we have the strongest tiger. We need Robert, Mr. Karate, and new Mr. Karate. Attack plus 25%. Blowout wave. We need Robert, K-Dash, and Iori. Attack plus 25%. And ultimate light. We need Robert, Takuma, Rio, and Yuri. Attack plus 25%. So his fates are quite easy, especially because, as I've mentioned, you're gonna need new Mr. Karate or Rio for sure, and Mr. Karate in the far future because he also has a role or a synergy with them. Okay, I'm gonna talk about it in the end of the video. At the end of the video. Now his weapon, Tiger Necklace, and he uses Dazzling Badge and Kickboxing Tone. Now his fight soul is the Golden Tiger Soul. Restores 55 rage when ally dies and some when attacked. So basically it's a tiger soul and a tortoise soul at the same time. Now let's go to his passive. Strongest tiger. He increases rare allies HP drain. If owned one ally remains, increase 20% HP drain. So basically in tournaments, or if he's the last one to remain in arena, he will have additional 20% HP drain. Now, if Mr. Second, there's a bug in the translation. If Rio or second generation Mr. Karate is deployed in formation or in 8, he permanently increase own 15% attack. So if Rio is there, he will increase. Robert will increase 15% attack. So that's one good synergy for them. Now, when new Mr. Karate dies, inheriting 100% rage. So if Rio dies, Robert will inherit 100% rage, will dispel own debuff, and permanently increase 50% resistance rate. Now this value is very, very high. Okay, so that's why you can see having them together is very important. Now if Chrysalid is in battle when deployed, new Mr. Karate is present but not Terry03, which means if the team is a Snake Genesis with new Mr. Karate and with Chrysalid, Robert2002 will get an Adder Soul. So this way it will be good for Snake Genesis in a way that Robert will be a Snake Soul instead of Tiger Soul. So Chrysalid, Rio, and Robert, the three of them can form a Genesis with Ignis or Instinct. So that's his passive. Okay, his second passive, Dragon Tiger Attack enhance own damage. His minor skill, Phantom Feet. Attack a single enemy, decreasing target 30% defense, increase own 20% crit. Okay, priority in attacking targets hit by new Mr. Karate skill in the last 2 rounds. So they basically, Robert will target the targets that Rio hit before in the previous 2 rounds. Okay, in the previous 2 rounds. So basically it can be anyone, even if it's in the rare, in the back row. Okay, if it strikes one of these targets, guaranteed crit. So if he does that, he will crit for sure in his skill. Okay, now his ultimate move, Dragon Tiger Flurry. Attack a single enemy, decreasing target 15% resistance rate, increase on 20% damage, dealing 8% max HP damage. And if Mr. Karate is deployed in your formation or 8 formation, it will release, or he will release, ultimate Double Star Flurry. You know, the ultimate move that includes both of them. Okay, so if they were both found together, they will do it. Okay, what does it do? Attack single enemy, increase 20% damage, 10% resistance rate, decrease target 15% resistance rate. It also decreases 7.5% damage and deal 8% max HP damage. Also dispel new Mr. Karate debuff. So if this happens, if they use the new ultimate together, new Mr. Karate will be debuffed and the skill will be guaranteed in the next round. So you can see that Robert and Rio are just meant to be together in the same team. Okay, now let's move to Rio. Okay, so new Mr. Karate or Rio is an API 14 tank. Okay, his details say that he has a high block rate or a good block rate and a good crit power, block power at the same time. Okay, so basically he can block very often. Other stats are quite normal. Now his feature is the invincible dragon, because you know they are known as the tiger and the dragon duo. So yeah, that's what his feature means. Now the strongest tiger first phase, you need Robert 2002, new Mr. Karate and Mr. Karate, increase in HP by 25%. Famous bloodline, you need new Mr. Karate, Kyo Ness, Crazy Iori and Toro Kasumi, increase in attack plus 25%. And Rio's family, you need new Mr. Karate, Takuma and Rio, HP increases by 25%. So again, same as Robert, the fates are easy to unlock, especially because you need them all together. You need to have them together. Okay, now his weapon, Infinity Gloves, and he uses Gale Badge and Judo Drop. Now his fight soul is an Adder Soul. In all gameplay, restore 40 rage when attacking and some when attacked. So it's basically a Snake Soul and a Tortoise Soul at the same time. Now let's go to his passive, Invincible Dragon, increase front allies damage reflect. Okay, so Robert increases HP drain for the back row, while Rio increases the front row damage reflect. If own one ally remains, increase 20% damage reflect. So again, if he's in tournament or if he's the last one to remain in the arena, he will gain additional 20% damage reflect. Now if Robert 2002 is deployed in your formation or 8 formation, Mr. Karate or new Mr. Karate recovers 12% HP each round. Okay, so if Robert is there, a new Mr. Karate will recover 12% HP each round. When ally Robert 2002 dies, again same thing, Rio will inherit 100% rage and dispel on debuff and increase 50% damage. So it's like, you know, the exact opposite. Okay, while Robert will increase 50% resistance, here Rio will increase 50% damage. Now if Robert 2002 and Terry 03 is deployed in your formation but not Chrysalid, new Mr. Karate will gain a Tiger Soul. So again, if it's a Tiger Genesis with Robert, Rio and Terry 03, then Rio will have a Tiger Soul and not Adder Soul. You know, again, it's the exact opposite as the case with Chrysalid. Okay, so you can see here, increase 10% damage reflect and the value can increase. Same for the HP drain of Robert. Okay, his other passive, Dragon Tiger HP Enhance, permanently increase HP. His minor skill, Tiger Roar, attack a single enemy, decreasing target's 10% attack, 25% chance to stun, and priority in attacking target affected by Robert 2002 skill in the last 2 rounds. Again, exact opposite of Robert. If the same enemy is struck, will stun. So in the case of Robert will crit for sure, but in the case of new Mr. Karate, he will stun. But you need to know that it is ineffective, of course, for the ones that are immune to stun. Okay. Now his ultimate, the Dragon Tiger Flurry, attack enemy with highest attack, decreasing target 15% damage, increase on 20% resistance and decrease target's 200 rage. If Robert 2002 is deployed in your formation or aid, again they will do that double ultimate called the Double Star Flurry, attack enemy with highest attack, increase resistance rate 10% damage, decrease 15% damage and 7.5% resistance rate, and decrease the 200 rage for the target. Also, this will dispel Robert 2002 debuff and the skill is guaranteed for the next round. Okay, so it's straightforward, you know, you just need to understand one of them. It's obvious how synergized they are, they just need to work together. Okay, so we've talked about their skills. We need to go to see their weapons, what do their weapons do, and some thoughts about their gates. And then we're gonna come back here and talk about in what teams they can be built and what synergies can they make together. Okay guys, so we're here at the UG KOF'98 app to talk about the awakened weapon and the gate. Now starting for Robert, his awakened weapon. Okay, so he attacks a single enemy, decreasing target 20% resistance rate, increases own 30% damage instead of 20%, and deals 10% max HP damage. If new Mr. Karate is deployed in the formation or aid, they will release a double ultimate as before. Attack a single enemy, increases 30% damage, 15% resistance, and decreases 20% resistance rate, 10% damage, dealing a 10% max HP damage. So basically the numbers increase a little bit with the weapon awakened. Also, dispel debuff, skill guaranteed is the same thing. Okay, now let's go to his gates. Let's start with the passive, the strongest tiger. So what changes is that he gains additional 100 rage when the battle starts. And he also, if Mr. Karate is in the team or in the aid formation, Robert will increase 7.5% attack for this battle. Okay, so he increases 7.5%, and if he was there, if when new Mr. Karate was there, the number improves a little bit, but they didn't specify the actual number in the app. Now, when Mr. Karate dies, as we said, Robert will inherit 100% rage, and added to that, he will recover 50% HP. So that was his second gate. Now moving to his skill, his fourth gate. So Robert will gain additional 20% controlled resist or control free, and if the skill crit, he will recover 10% HP. So a very nice improvement to the skill. Now his max or sixth gate. So Robert will decrease the target's row 20% resistance rate, not only the single target but the row itself, okay? And will increase own 30% damage and deal 10% max HP damage and increases 10% HP drain, okay? Now added to that, he will when they release the double ultimate, he will increase 30% damage, 10% or 15% resistance rate, and add 10% damage. Doesn't seem so accurate, but I think he just also it's an improvement of the numbers basically. There must be like the translation isn't very accurate, but it's fine. You can see that it's just a buff in the numbers. So that was everything about Robert. Now we go for new Mr. Karate. Also the same thing. But sadly, his awakened weapon isn't shown here, okay? But I suppose it's the same thing. It's just an improvement of the stats, nothing new for the numbers. Now his second gate. So also Rio will gain additional 100% rage when entering the match. He will recover 6% HP each round for the entire battle, even without Robert, and the amount increases if Robert is present. Again, they didn't specify the number, maybe it's not written. And will also recover 50% of Mr. Karate's HP. He will recover 50% when Robert dies, basically. So now moving to his skill. Additionally, he will gain 20% block rate, and if the minor skill stun the target, he will increase 15% attack for 2 rounds. Okay, same thing as Robert, but different types of buffs. Now his max is 6th gate, so he will remove the buff, as we said, decrease entire row 20% damage, and increase 30% resistance range, and drains 300 rage. So that's a very nice addition. Okay, added to that, if Robert is in the aid or in the team, he will increase 30% resistance rate, 15% damage, and decrease the target's entire row 20% damage, 10% resistance rate, and drains 300 rage, as we said. Okay, so that was pretty much everything about the gates and the awakened weapon. Now we'll go back to the game in order to give some advices on some informations for them. Okay guys, so now for the last part of the video, where can we use Robert and Rio? Okay, so the good news is that they work together in many teams. You can put them in many formations, but you need to know something, which is that there is a third party to the team. Okay, I've mentioned him earlier, which is Takuma or Mr. Karate. Okay, the API 15 Mr. Karate. Well, simply it's because of his passive, you know. He increases the ultimate damage of the Kyukugin Ryo fighters, either deployed in the team or in aid formation. Okay, you can see here, he increases their ultimate damage by 20% at level 1, so this value will increase as we level it up. So the thing is that they work together. The three of them can be great together. Even if you decided later to put Rio or Robert as an aide, if you had Mr. Karate, this would be an additional buff to the team. Okay, so that's why he adds something to them. Now, where can you use Robert and Rio? Well, basically, as we've mentioned earlier, they can be in a Tiger Genesis if you use them with Terry 03, or in a Snake Genesis if you use them with Chrysalid, and even if the captains weren't there, you know, they can still fit together because, as I've mentioned, they work solo. Okay, and of course in a 4 souls formation, you know, if Rio being Tiger and Rio being an Adder and Robert being a Tiger, then they can just fit in a 4 souls. Okay, and if you added Mr. Karate, which is a Tortoise soul, so this will be perfect. Like, you have already 3 souls of the 4 souls that you need. Okay, also this can work in a Turtle Genesis. For example, if you wanted to use Mr. Karate himself as a turtle, and you just have 2 extra spots to use to complete the Genesis, so you can use Robert and Rio, or again as an aide. You know, you have a lot of options to choose. Now, so basically, as we've said, Tiger Genesis, Snake Genesis, and Turtle Genesis, and 4 souls, those are the best teams that you can put them in. Now, a fast advice for runes, I suppose for Robert, you need to increase his crit. Okay, basically his damage. Okay, so I suppose that Killing Soul. Okay, no, the God's Wrath is the best one because he can ultimate at even rounds. So having those extra crits, so he can do more damage. Okay, and for Rio, I suppose because he has a high block rate, or you know, a good block rate and block power, so the Protector Soul can be good for him, because you know, any tanky set of runes can work well, but I think the Protector Soul is good. Okay, or the Heart of Thorns if you want him to gain HP if you get attacked. So you know, for runes you have a lot of options. It shouldn't be a big problem. Okay guys, so basically that was everything regarding Robert and Rio. Good luck in the draw. I hope it turns out to be good. And what are your thoughts about Robert and Rio? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.